What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Farming with Abandoned Equipment. Here today we got a special one. I got my hay cutting machine. Nothing too fancy, but we're gonna get her going. I believe it was my grandpa's. I found it up here buried in the weeds and the trees, and I drug it out with a chain just now. I'm gonna try to get it loaded up on the trailer and get it fixed. So I'm gonna turn it around and show you what we got. What we have here is a John Deere 350 sickle mower. Hooks up to your 3-point of your tractor, runs off your PTO. Like I said, it has been sitting in the weeds and the dirt, so I'm hoping I can get it home and get it cleaned up and get it to running. I may have to do some modifications to the drive shaft. This is where it was sitting deep, buried in that dirt and these trees. So a lot of PB blaster, but everything's there. Luckily the old belt's there, so I'm going to be able to measure it and get a new belt for it. But I laid it down, the sickle does lay down, so right now everything works. I'm just hoping the gearbox and everything is good. We won't know until I get it home. All right, this is the setup we're rocking. Got a rope tied off to the pipe back there. Brought up all the way to the front of the trailer. Doing some rigging. Got a dolly tied off to the front of the trailer. Rope ran through, chain ran through. So using rigging in the vehicle, as I pull forward, since the rope is stationary there, but the machine moves, it ought to suck it right up onto the trailer. So let's give it a try. All right, hold that. So we had a rope break, had to retie it. We're gonna try this again. We got it loaded up, tied down. Let's get it home and clean her up and see if we can get her to work. What's going on, everybody? We are doing a little bit of fabricating today on that 350 sickle mower of my grandpa's. So it only had half the drive shaft, half the PTO shaft. And I don't know if anybody's done any shopping around for a 350 sickle mower. Drive shaft is about the hardest thing you can find. And I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for what I've done because I ruined the original. But I'm gonna show y'all some stuff I had here and show y'all what I'm doing. Okay, so this is what we got. This was the original shaft, and it was welded on like that right there. That's what it looked like. Well, I couldn't find what I needed, so I had a PTO shaft off a brush hog I had, and I cut the U-joint head off of it, and I cut the U-joint head that I need for my 350 sickle mower. And now I'm just gonna weld this shaft on here. I know it's not gonna be original, but it's gonna give me extra length to go. I mean, I can cut down this shaft to make it whatever length, but it's gonna let me run it on a bigger tractor if needed be. But this is the easiest way I figured out to do it, because I could still get U-joints to replace this U-joint, and then the front head is just a common PTO shaft for a brush hog. So this is what I done. Like I said, I just cut the head off of that shaft, cut the head off this shaft, and now we're gonna weld the two parts together to make me a drive shaft. I know it's not original. I really wanted it to be original, but after spending a week and a half trying to find a shaft, this is the best route we could go with. We're back here at the house. I have the drive shaft installed. I mean, it ain't the best welds, but it's gonna work. We got it installed on the 350. I'm gonna pull it off the trailer, finish sanding it up. I got a V-groove belt coming in tomorrow. Had to order that from O'Reilly's. It cost $110, by the way. So tomorrow we should be able to hook this up to the tractor and see if we get some action going, see if it'll even work before I go through all the way through with painting it and everything. But I think it will. Everything's free. So tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow I ought to get some more footage of it actually on the tractor hooked up. I may try to find some taller grass that I can run it in just to see if it'll cut, and get finished grinding it up and we'll get it painted, or wire wheeling it up and we'll get it painted. So stay tuned. Welcome back. We're back out here with the John Deere 350 sickle mower. Picked up a new belt from O'Reilly's. If anybody's wondering, if you got a sickle mower 350, it's a C108 Gates 112-inch belt. We're gonna go ahead and get it put on and see if this sickle mower will run with this new PTO setup. I want to get it and make sure to work before I put all this time and effort into painting it. So let's get this installed. So I cut y'all out because it took me a second to get this belt straightened out, but we're gonna go ahead. Actually, I think I'm gonna have to, yes, I'm gonna have to do that. So there is 2 bolts. I'll pick y'all up and show y'all. There's 2 bolts on this cover here that we're gonna have to take off to be able to get the belt on. And we're probably going to take the covers off this side too as well. So let's get these covers off and then get this belt on. All right, so we got this guard one off. It's got 2 bolts in there, go right here and right here. You just take those 2 bolts and that'll get your one guard off to be able to get your belt on. I had to do a little change of plans because this is not going to fit my big tractor. I'm gonna have to put it on my little 420 28 horsepower John Deere, because this will not fit on my big tractor, which I figured it wouldn't. I just wanted to see, but we're gonna get this belt on, and I'll just have to get a battery for my little tractor to come over here and hook it up on the 3-point and everything. So let's get this other shield off and get this belt on, and then I am going to hook my big tractor to the PTO. I'm just not going to hook it up to the frame and turn it on and just see if we can get the sickle to move. So let's get this other shield off. All right, so with a little bit of persuasion, so on these sickle mowers, you're supposed to be able to loosen this, and there's a bolt in here, and you can suck that sickle mower in and out to give you your adjustment to put your belt on. Well, as you can see, mine's set in the ground for a little bit too long, and it is rusted and it broke off. So what I did, I got my belt started on the back, and I got it halfway started on here. I took a pipe wrench, put it on the tip of my drive shaft, my PTO shaft, and I spun that. And as you spin this belt will slowly crawl over into place. And as you can tell, I mean, it's tight, it ain't going nowhere, but that's what I had to do. I'm hoping that I can take this to my dad's maybe, and maybe drill and tap that bolt out and get this working the way it should. But right now, this is what I had to do. So now we're gonna get the other end of the PTO shaft, slide it on. We're gonna pull my 4450 over here and hook the PTO up and see if we can get this sickle to move. So I do not recommend what I'm doing. I have this is a jank setup right now, but I just needed to get and see if this will work. We're spinning good there. Our teeth are moving good. I think we got a good working sickle mower. So my plan is now to get a battery for my little John Deere, get it hooked up on it, get it painted and everything, and then go try to cut some grass. So this will be part 1. I appreciate everybody watching, but I'm just glad we got it working and got a belt on it, so, and got the PTO shaft working. So I think it'll do good. We may have to replace the teeth, I don't know, but we'll see when we get it. Try to cut our first little swath of grass with it. I'm just glad to see it moving. I'm glad it's freed up and everything. So thanks for watching, and tune in for part 2 of the John Deere 350 sickle mower revival.